Good morning, everybody, and welcome to How to Live a Fantastic Life. The best friend you never knew you needed is your personal stylist, Holly Katz, who enjoys nothing more than helping somebody improve their image. She transforms their lives through individual personal styling and leading clients through step-by-step process. Her service have been called life-changing by her clients and peers. For anyone going through a transition, Holly will guide you down a road that's not scary, but rather empowering for men and women. From closet cleanouts, style assessments to shopping trips, Holly is the ultimate style coach that will have you wishing you hired her years early. Catch her on her Fashion Crimes podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, and Radio Public. Here, Holly and her fashion partner in crime spill the tea on industry secrets, calling out fashion criminals, and interview top influencers and guests that shape the fashion world today. Hi, Holly. How are you?
How are you? That was a beautiful introduction. I need you every time to introduce me.
Well, thank you very much. What is a personal stylist and how do they operate?
So, personal stylist is someone who figures out the who, what, when, where, why. Who are you? Where are you in your life today? What do you need? What do you want? What's not working for you? I am very similar, no disrespect, but I'm sort of like a therapist a little bit. And people really get held back, stuck, and hung up because you're either born with a fashion gene or you're not. And if you're not, that's okay. It's very easy to learn. And I really get people super pumped about themselves, where they're going, and how they can continue on using style and fashion as a tool to get them ahead and not hold them back. It's not the only thing that is going on, but that's a very small piece of the puzzle that most people are lacking in confidence. And it oozes into every section of your life, your family, your job, your career, your friends, your relationships. Because if you don't feel good about yourself, then people know that they pick up on that energy. So that's why I call myself a style coach, because I'm really coaching people through, and cheering them on. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. If you got a divorce, if you gained weight, you lost weight, maybe you had kids late in life and your body didn't snap back, or, you're going through a new life phase. Maybe you've moved cities and you don't know what people wear in a different region of the country. After COVID, people are going back into the workforce and people are like, what do I do now? I really didn't know what to do then. I really don't know what to do now. So I figure out those 5 elements and then we sort of build from there. I always like to say, if I lined up 100 people, right? 20% of those people, they know, they got it. They like to shop. They look good already. They don't need my help. That 60% of people who they want to look good, but they're not going to spend that extra time when the rubber meets the road and they have to go to a major event or whatever. Like, yes, they'll shop, but they really don't enjoy shopping. That last 20% don't know, don't care. That's not my client. It's that major 60% of people who, yeah, I look pretty good, but I don't know what to do further or how my style should be evolving. So those are the people who really, call on me the most.
I understand for sure. So what is the most popular fashion accessory these days that can make a person look good?
It's very subjective. It's not one item or this or that or special color. I always say, if you don't know anything about fashion and style, bump up your accessory game, right? So as you see behind me, I'm definitely a shoe person, clearly, but that's a really easy way to start. Get great shoes, a great bag. For men, men are carrying bags these days because you're bringing your laptop back and forth, places. Have a great bag. Make sure that the things that you're carrying really represent who you are instead of something really inexpensive that you got on just because it was on sale, which is another huge misconception. That's a whole nother interview about how to shop. But that's the first step, is start with shoes, accessories, and jewelry. Start there.
I hear you. Did you ever see the show called Hitch?
You mean the movie Hitch?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Isn't that sort of about showing your best image forward?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, he was a dating coach, but yes, it sort of goes hand in hand. I have coached people, and I have created one marriage, so I'm very proud of that. But it really does go. It's kind of like a personal trainer or someone like that who really just cheers you on and gives you that individual attention. You and I both know the retail industry. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, you used to shop with the same person at the same store because there was only a few stores. Now people are very confused and the lines are really blurred because people don't know where to go. They don't know what to do. And they don't know how much, why are these pants $60 and these pants $260? But the average consumer has no clue what that even means or why they should spend more money. Just because it's more money doesn't mean it's better. It usually means it's better fabric, better construction, but the average consumer is not going to pay $260 for a pair of pants. So I have to break that down for them according to their budget. Where do you live? What type of clothes and what sort of amount of money should you be spending? I go over all that with you. So we go deep.
So suppose a person wanted to do a makeover, where would you start?
The first thing is we have a 1-hour consultation. Again, it's what are you stuck? What's your issue? What's your problem? You're looking you called me for a reason. Why are you calling me? Because do you overshop? Do you not shop enough? Is something major happening in your life that you're like, I'm freaking out here. I'm starting my new job in 2 weeks and I don't know what people are wearing or what to do. That's normally when they call me.
Sounds good. Now, with this COVID pandemic, has your business gotten busier?
It has not gotten busier, unfortunately. My clients that I already have do call me back. And what I'm doing is I'm helping people virtually. So what that means is you and I would have a 1-hour consultation. And then from there, we would figure out what you need, what you like, what you know, what you want. And then I would do a virtual sort of mood board for them with active links. And then they call me back and then I help them figure out what to buy and what to shop for. So in person, normally we would do a closet clean out and then we would do 3 piles: keep, give away, throw away. I change all the hangers, I reorganize everything, show them what to hang, show them what to fold. And then that really arms me for the next step, which is a shopping trip. And then we sort of fill in the blanks from there. Sometimes the shopping trip is a couple of days. Sometimes, people usually can't hang more than 3 hours, because it's hard. It's, I pre-pull all the clothes and they come in and shop with me. And each place we go is subjective to the person on what they need. But it's a long process. But once you do the initial work, then you're set up for life. And then you call me every few months and then we just fill in the blanks from there.
Excellent. How can your image hold you back?
Very easily. People that get hung up about their age, people who let life, it shouldn't say let life, but are knocked down by life. Something traumatic that's happened to them, or maybe they've been, they're stuck and they've been the same size forever. So they think that, they can wear the same clothes. But the biggest setback is the financial setback. I can't. I can't spend money on this because of this. And I don't want to do that because of that. And especially women, I do style men, but mostly women, they are famous for putting themselves on the back burner. It's okay. My husband thinks I look good. It doesn't matter. Blah, blah, blah. You're just flatlining yourself. When your style does not evolve with your age, which means you should be, cycling a few new things every few months in and out of your wardrobe, but your style should be evolving every 3 to 5 years. I should not be wearing the same clothes from 10 years ago. I should not be wearing the same clothes, from 15 years ago. I mean, that goes without saying. It's because that's who I was. That's really not who I am now. Even if I still like something, it's okay to keep it. But as for the most part, you should be growing. I mean, you're not the same person you were 20 years ago, and people are fighting aging. They trip about the numbers. Their body's changing. Their kids are getting older. So it's just, you don't realize it sometimes, but your image really can hold you back. If your hair's really, really long and you don't want to change your hairstyle, and you've had the same hairstyle for 20 years, I mean, that can hold you back. And also following along with the crowd, like you don't want to stand out, or you're worried that this is going to be too weird, or, you have to constantly get out of your comfort zone, because style and fashion should take up 10% of your brain. When everything in your closet fits, you like it, and you know where it is very easy to get dressed. But people aren't there. Number one hang up is closet organization. People have so much stuff everywhere. They don't know what they like. They don't know. I paid a lot of money for that. I don't want to get rid of it. Well, that's holding you back. All of that is holding you back.
Well, that's cool. And it sounds like you've got your act together, whereas other people don't. But what if people don't like to shop?
If they don't like to shop, they're not alone. Let me do the dirty work for you. I mean, you hate to shop, that's fine. You only hate to shop because you don't know what you're doing. I mean, that's okay. I mean, I like to cook, but I'm not a great cook. I'm an okay cook, but I'm not a great cook. I mean, I'd love for someone to teach me, how to be a better cook. But I will try and I will practice. Style and fashion can be learned. I mean, you have to, it starts with your body image. What is your body type? Once we figure that out, then it's arms you better to know how to shop. You go in, you try on 3 pairs of pants. You're like, ooh, I can't wear pants now. That's just not true. And so that's what people give up quick.
That sounds reasonable. It sounds like you can do the shopping for them. Where are you located?
So we're sort of multi-city people. We live in Atlanta. We also live in New York City. So I have clients both places. And if, you want to work with me, you can certainly work with me virtually as well. And, it's just, if this is something that you're interested in, it is, and I just say, it's not scary. People think it's scary, but shopping with me is fun, clearly. And I really break it down for you in very small bites. Just like if somebody was going on a diet, you don't change your diet and start working out 5 days a week if you've never dieted or exercised before. You do very small bites so you can keep the weight off, right? It's really the same sort of concept. We do very subtle changes just so you can understand and get the energy shift. And then that keeps you wanting more. Believe me, I've created monsters, people that they're loving what they look like. They text me, they call me, do you like this? Oh my God, this is amazing. Okay. I can't get any work done. Everyone's talking about my shoes. Like, these are the types of communications that I'm getting, because people are so shocked that something so small can really change. I've had people tell me, my husband said I look more awake. I mean, it's just, it really goes deep, and it's just, who knew a pair of shoes could do that? So.
And I think it's not only shoes, it's a red dress. It's the look that you have when you have that red dress.
Right.
I think it's impossible for a person not to change once they dress appropriately.
I think you're exactly right. And it's subjective for everybody. And that's another huge misconception, is that style is superficial, or it's frivolous, and it doesn't matter. Society is superficial, whether you like it or not, or whether you believe it or not. And if you don't believe it, it's going to hold you back. I mean, as someone like you, or you hire people, you let, your team changes, you know what you're looking for. And if you don't look put together, you don't have to be like a supermodel, but if you don't look put together, and your energy shows that, somebody is going to surpass you who's a lot more confident.
So what are some common blocks for people when it comes to style?
Again, the financial, nobody's ever told me I look bad. Okay, well, that doesn't mean you look great. I mean, I think I look good, but I always want to look better. I'm always learning. I am a stylist that has a stylist, believe it or not. And my stylist is very different from me. And he educates me on things that I don't know about, brands and designers that I don't know about, which arms me better to help my clients on a different level. My clients know very little very little about fashion and style. This is not something that, I'm not working with high-end people or celebrities. I've done that before, but my basic, my regular client are people who are working with children, who are running a household. I mean, they want to look good. They want to have a girls' night out. They want to, feel young and feel sexy, but they don't want to dress young. They just want to feel like themselves. And they just are sort of lost in those years where, you've raised babies, but now you don't have babies anymore. Or maybe you're going back to work because your kids are old enough. So that it just leaves people really scared and behind. And then you're just kind of doing the same thing over and over and over again. For men, I'll tell you, the biggest block is my wife can get everything she wants. It doesn't matter. It's okay. And that's exactly, putting yourself on the back burner. With my husband, I say, if I look good, you got to look good. I mean, that we have to match, right? Like, you can't just be, I've cleaned out my husband's closet 3 times. Once we were dating, once we were engaged, and once we were married. 3 very different experiences. But now he gets it. He understands. And it started with very, very subtle changes. He didn't look bad, but he wasn't keeping up and his style was not evolving. And that is the hardest part for men, because women have hair, they have makeup, they have, whatever. Men, you get dressed and that's it, right? So where do you sort of go from there? You need to be, in your age group, in your industry, the best looking person, that you want to be. And it's very easy for men. It's about owning, what do you want to look like? Men don't want to try so hard because they don't want to get riffraff from their friends, right? They don't want to be like, oh, nice shirt, like that's how men are. They tease each other. But when you look nice, I mean, other people will notice and other men will start, taking notice for sure. So.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, Holly, we're just about getting to our end here. So what is the number one thing you want to tell people about fashion and getting dressed?
You too can do this. This is achievable for you. If you're like, oh, I used to love to shop and now I hate it, it's in there. I just got to dust it off, right? If you're hung up about your weight, style and weight have absolutely zero to do with each other. People say, oh, I'm going to go shop when you're going to lose weight. That's none of my business. You have to feel good and look good now, because that is going to motivate you to lose weight, not the someday, forever, I'll get new stuff, as a reward. It doesn't work like that. You have to figure out what you like and where you are today. And it takes work. Style and fashion is work. I'm not going to lie. But with someone like me, I make it easy for you. Sure, you can try to figure out by yourself, but who wants to do that? I mean, it's just easier when you hire an expert. Unfortunately, the help in the stores is not the same as it was, several years ago. So a lot of people are hiring an outside person like me who can come into their home, help them figure it out. And once we do the initial work, then you're on autopilot, then you sort of like know what to do, and you're armed with that for the rest of your life. It's not scary and it's not hard when you have help. So don't be afraid. And when you're ready, the teacher will appear.
Sounds good. Now, how can people get in touch with you if they want to, Holly?
So I am online. My website is hollykatzstyling.com. Holly, Holly, Katz styling.com. I'm on Instagram, Holly Katz Styling. I'm on YouTube, Holly Katz Styling. LinkedIn, I'm Holly Katz. Instagram, all TikTok, all the social media. I am very easy to find. I always said if I was in the witness protection program, I'd be in big trouble because I'm pretty easy to find. So please go on my website, take a look at my packages, figure out what you need, what you want. And if you just, sometimes people call me, we have a consultation and I never hear from them again. And that's okay. So sometimes that's the beginning. But if this is something that you're interested in, and you're like, oh yeah, sign me up for that, give me a call.
That sounds good, Holly. I think everybody should give you a call, at least just to talk to you and meet such a ball of energy.
Thank you so much. This was fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Holly. Thanks for being on my show. Have a fantastic day.